The wind is a blade. Snow, driven hardened horizontal, scours the tundra. It stings Boar's eyes, but he does not blink. Below him, in the gully they chose 2 suns ago, the beast rages. The woolly mammoth, a mountain of shuddering fur and fury, trumpets a challenge that is swallowed by the gale. Its tusks, great scythes of ivory, gouge deep furrows in the frozen earth. This is the pinnacle of prehistoric life, a titan of the ice. To his left, Golorok shifts his weight, the haft of his massive yew spear creaking in his grip. His breath plumes, freezing instantly on his thick beard. To Boar's right, a different kind of breath steams in the frigid air, a low, guttural rumble that vibrates through the pack's no. Ursa, his bond mate, lowers her massive head, her dark eyes fixed on the megafauna below. Her claws, long and curved, unsheathed from her paws, digging into the ice for purchase. She is not a pet. She is not a pet. She is the other half of his soul, bound by rituals older than memory. The rest of the clan is in position, a silent arc of broad-shouldered hunters and their Ursine kin, a living wall of muscle and moose Tyrian flint, a testament to their survival skills. Beoa gives the signal, a low grunt that is both his and not. It is the sound of the bear. Ursa explodes from her position, a brown avalanche of muscle and fur, her tearing through the wind's howl. Simultaneously, the other bears charge from their hidden spots, not at the mammoth's head, but at its powerful legs and flanks. This is the plan born of generations of shared knowledge, a dance of hominid history. The bears are the battering rams, the anchors. They absorb the initial, frantic violence. Their thick hides and dense bones a testament to their power. One of the younger bears, Skyclaw, is caught by a sweeping tusk and thrown, yelping, into a snowdrift, but he scrambles back, blood matting his fur, his fury redoubled. The chaos is the clan's opportunity. Beoa leads the charge down the slope, his legs pumping, the cold air burning his lungs. The mammoth is distracted, turning in a tight, panic circle, trying to fend off the death that bites at its heels, the space between the swinging trunk and the stamping feet. He lowers his spear, its heavy, fire-hardened tip aimed at the soft flesh behind the creature's forearm. He puts his entire weight behind the thrust. The spearhead, a masterpiece of flint napping, one of the most effective ancient tools of their people, sinks deep. The mammoth screams, a sound of agony and outrage that shakes the very ice beneath their feet. Others follow, a volley of heavy spears driving into the beast's side, its immense legs finally buckling. It crashes to the earth with a ground-shaking thud that sends up a cloud of snow. The hunt is over. Silence descends, broken only by the wind and the panting of hunters, both man and bear. As they gather, the figure appears on the ridge, stumbling through the deep drifts. It is Kale, the scout. It is Kale, the scout. His face is pale beneath its wind burn. Beoa, he gasps, leaning on his spear. They are here. In the southern valley. Beoa places a hand on Ursa's flank, feeling the steady beat of her heart. He looks at Kale, whose eyes hold a fear Beoa has never seen before. The thin men, Kale says, his voice a strained whisper. They move like reeds in the wind, and they carry sticks that throw spears. The news settles like a shroud over the warmth of the successful hunt, the thin men. The name is Kales, born of what he saw, but it feels right. It speaks of a fragility that is alien to Boar's people. The clan works quickly, butchering the mammoth with practiced efficiency, their heavy flint cleavers shearing through hide and muscle. There is no celebration. Every hunter's gaze keeps drifting south, to the valley where the strange new scent taints their air. The decision is made without a formal council. It is understood in the tightening of grips on spears and the low growls that rumble from the chests of the bears. This land is theirs, its land, its rhythms. Its life and its death belong to them. An intrusion is a wound that must be cleansed. They leave the mammoth carcass for the younger clan members and the elders to cache, taking only what they can carry. Beoa leads the war party, a dozen of the clan's strongest, each flanked by their bonded bear. They move not with the stalking silence of a hunt, but with the heavy, purposeful tread of an avalanche. They are not hunting prey, they are asserting dominion. They find them near the frozen river, a small band of them, huddled around a meager fire. They are just as Kale described them, tall, impossibly slender, with high brows and weak chins. Their frames ill-suited to the biting cold. They look like children, yet they are adults. They carry no heavy thrusting spears, only bundles of light, FLH darts and the strange throwing sticks Kale mentioned, the atlatl. The thin men spot them at the same moment, and a collective gasp of fear rises from their group. They scramble for their weapons, their movements quick and jerky, like startled birds. The Oa feels a strange mix of pity and contempt. They are not warriors. They are vermin. He gives the signal, a deep roar that Ursa echoes. The thin men panic. They raise their atlatls, and with a flick of their wrists, a volley of darts whistles through the air. The projectiles are fast. Faster than any thrown spear, but they lack weight and power. Most clatter harmlessly against the thick skulls and matted fur of the charging bears. One strikes Go Rock's bear, Ymir, in the shoulder. It sinks deep, and the great beast bellows in pain and fury. The sound shatters the thin men's nerve. The impact is absolute. It is not a battle, it is a force of nature overwhelming a fragile obstruction, a turning point in hominid history. Ursa swats one of the men aside, his bones snapping with a sound like dry twigs. Goar, enraged at the injury to his bond mate, brings his stone axe down in a devastating arc, and a thin man's head ceases to exist. The bears are a whirlwind of claws and teeth, the Neanderthals, a bludgeon of bone and stone. It is over in heartbeats. The survivors, a mere handful, break and flee, dropping their useless weapons, their shrieks of terror a thin, pathetic sound against the triumphant roars of the bears. Bioa stands in the bloody snow. He picks up one of the fallen atlatls, feeling its strange, light construction. A clever toy. It allows the weak to strike from a distance. But it is not strength. It is a trick. He snaps it over his knee and casts the pieces aside. The world does not belong to the clever. It belongs to the strong. The snow in the southern valley has a new coppery scent. The clan does not linger. They have made their statement. The broken bodies and the abandoned camp are a warning, a territorial marker more potent than any scent post. Bjorn leads them back to their caves, the victory a cold, hard stone in his gut. There is no joy in this, only a grim necessity. They had faced dire wolf packs, cornered saber-tooths, and enraged woolly rhinos. Those were challenges of strength against strength, a part of the world's brutal but understandable order. This was different. The thin men were weak, yet their presence felt like a creeping sickness, a subtle poison in the wind. Back in the grey cave, the fires burn high, casting dancing shadows on walls painted with generations of hunts. The butchered mammoth meat hangs, promising sustenance through the long darkness of winter. The injured bear, Ymir, is tended to, the dart's flint head carefully cut from his flesh by Goar, whose massive hands are surprisingly gentle. The younger members of the clan listen wide-eyed as the warriors recount the brief, violent clash. They learn the lesson of this day: new things are to be met not with curiosity, but with overwhelming force. Weeks pass. The great cold deepens. Life returns to its familiar Paleolithic rhythm. Bioa spends his days reinforcing the clan's position. He leads patrols farther south, finding tracks that show the surviving thin men have fled into the barren, wind-scoured highlands, a place where only the desperate or the foolish would go. They will not survive the winter there. The threat is gone, extinguished before it could truly become a fire. Now, the future must be secured. In a secluded den deep within the cave system, a new litter of cave bear cubs has been born. They are small, blind, squeaking bundles of fur. Bioa takes his son, a boy named Kor, to see them. Kor, who will one day lead the clan, must learn the most important right of their people. You do not choose the bear, Bioa tells him, his voice echoing in the chamber. The bear chooses you. You will offer it your hand. If it bites, it is a sign of spirit. If it ignores you, you are not worthy. This is the foundation of their symbiosis, the cornerstone of their existence. the strength of man and the power of the bear, woven together not by chains, but by a blood bond forged in the cradle. KOR approaches the den, his face a mask of fear and resolve. He reaches a trembling hand toward a small male cub. The cub sniffs his fingers, then gives a playful nip. KOR flinches but does not pull away. A bond is formed. Bioa watches, his heart swelling with a fierce pride. They have faced the unknown and have triumphed. They have secured their territory, fed their people, and ensured the next generation will carry the strength of their ancestors. He looks at the cave painting. The red and black ochre figures of mighty hunters and their bear companions felling mammoths and rhinos. He picks up a piece of charcoal. Beside the ancient figures, he begins to draw a new scene, a line of broad-shouldered men and massive bears, standing over the broken, stick-like figures of the thin men. It is a record, a warning, and a promise. This world was forged in ice and power. It belongs to the strong. It will never know the age of Homo Sapiens. This is the legacy of the broken spear, a history etched in stone and blood, a world that was never ours. Embers on decos. The charcoal markings on the cave wall will fade, covered by the dust of uncounted millennia. The stories told around the fire will warp, becoming myths of ghost-like invaders who were swept away like ash on the wind. But the core of the act remains, a fundamental branching of the evolutionary path. The Neanderthal-Bear clans will not build cities or write poetry. Their history will be one of brute survival, of perfect adaptation to a merciless world, an apex predator dyad that has no equal and thus no catalyst for radical change. Their dominance is so absolute that it breeds stosis. In this alternate prehistory, the Great Filter was not a comet from the sky or a change in the climate. It was a confrontation in a snowy valley. The spark of human innovation, the fragile, questioning intellect of Homo sapiens, was extinguished before it could ever catch fire, crushed under the combined weight of Neanderthal muscle and Ursine fury. Their victory was total, so complete that it ensured they would never need to become anything more than what they already were, the unchallenged and final masters of a frozen planet. This is the sound of a world without us. What happens when the apex predator never faces a true rival?